Hello, hello. How you guys doing? Everybody good? Oh man. They won't even let me rest. They won't even let me rest. I'm I'm cooking. I'm getting some food ready, and I sit down to eat. My phone starts blowing up. And I saw the news, and I was like, "Are you shitting me, man?" I couldn't even eat, and every time they do this, man, it's the same thing when Booty Juggalo dropped out. You remember that? They can't even let me rest, man. Yes, it's official. It's real. I'm laughing at this because it's so comical. It's like a clown show that just doesn't end, man. I told you it's gonna be a bumpy ass primary, and even if Biden essentially clinched the nomination, we're gonna have a bumpy next 6 months. What a disaster! It is hilarious. You gotta admit. Hold on, we got a super chat from Josh and stuff. Thank you, Josh. Says this is for calling out Bernie on Twitter. We'll get to that in a second. Oh yeah. I'm grateful for the donation. Thank you. Oh yeah, you can bet Kamala she's doing a crab dance herself right now. Definitely, she's doing a crab dance. So let's dissect this. Let's get through it. Let's shovel through the crap. Are you ready? Yalla. Let's go through it, man. So it's official. Kamala Harris is the chosen one. Joe Biden announced that she is his vice president pick. So let me show you on Twitter what he posted. He said, quote, "I have the great honor to announce that I've picked Kamala Harris, a fearless fighter for the little guy and one of the country's finest public servants, as my running mate." Wow. And then Bernie Sanders chimes in. Here's what Bernie Sanders had to say. He said, "Congratulations to Kamala Harris, who will make history as our next vice president. She understands what it takes to stand up for working people, fight for healthcare for all, and take down the most corrupt administration in history. Let's get to work and win." So very cordially, I told Bernie Sanders to shut the fuck up, essentially. Okay, because this is just ridiculous, man. Kamala Harris standing up for working people, really? Fighting corruption and healthcare. Okay, we'll get to healthcare in a second. But you had a lot of interesting takes, naturally, because this is breaking news. It's quite significant. A lot of them are it's a mixed bag. You got K-Hive going wild, and you have a lot of interesting takes. Not just Bernie's, but here's one from Cenk as well, Cenk Uygur. It says, "I look forward to helping Joe Biden and Senator Kamala Harris beat Trump, and then leading a primary against whichever one of them runs in 2024. It's inconceivable they will govern as progressive, and we're not going to take this for 8 years. For now, they're infinitely better than Trump." Wait, what? Hold on a second. You just said it's inconceivable they will govern as progressive. So why are you going to help them? You said helping in the previous sentence. What? Like, not even Bernie said that shit. What is this? He's giving you more incrementalism and more gradualism. And speaking of which, do you remember, for those of you who are paying attention, TYT actually sent out an email on behalf of Joe Biden. Yes, it was in the footer. And consequentially, they were denied press passes to the DNC, which took place online, which further cements how much disdain the establishment has towards any kind of alternative media, even the ones that lick their asses. So if that is not embarrassing enough, well, Chang took it further, saying he's going to help them. What? The groveling is really something is really a sight to behold. Really a sight to behold. And Donald Trump wasted no time, huh? Like within 30 minutes of the announcement, they already had an attack ad out. Now, granted, it's quite natural for campaigns to prepare this stuff in advance. They already had an idea who it might be. It might be Kamala or Susan Rice or Karen Bass. So I'm sure they had attack ads prepared for all of them. And nonetheless, they posted this. Let's just take a look.
Kamala Harris ran for president by rushing to the radical left, embracing Bernie's plan for socialized medicine, calling for trillions in new taxes, attacking Joe Biden for racist policies. Voters rejected Harris. They smartly spotted a phony. But not Joe Biden. He's not that smart. Biden calls himself a transition candidate. He is handing over the reins to Kamala while they jointly embrace the radical left. Slow Joe and phony Kamala. Perfect together. Wrong for America.
Dude, I can't take this. Americans are really funny, man. This whole thing is like a 90s movie ad. Coming this fall. Dude, it's so ridiculous. Slow Joe and phony Kamala. Also, do you notice how Donald Trump and even Sean Hannity, somebody call Sean Hannity, they constantly refer to Joe Biden as the radical left? Dude, the scale, the perception is so out of whack in the US. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. Like the Democrats, never mind the Republicans, right? are more to the right than right-wing parties in Europe. It's crazy. And they call them the radical left. This is what happens when, as Noam Chomsky eloquently puts it, you have a very narrow field of perception and you limit the scope of debate within that. Then it's very easy to make one side or the other look radical when you've limited the scope that much. And in reality, when in fact they're not. And the two parties are essentially two different wings of the same party, and they both work for the corporations. So anyway, regardless, this is really something funny that they also say Kamala Harris is an advocate of Medicare for all. Dude, I don't even know. I'm a journalist. I cover politics for a living, and I don't even know what Kamala Harris' position is on that because she kept flip-flopping so much. I couldn't keep up. And this is a year ago. This is going back a year. I'll be watching the primaries, and like one day, she come out on MSNBC and say something, and then the next day she's doing an interview with Anderson Cooper. She says something else. I don't know. I have no clue. I really have no clue. So this actually might be true or might not be true, but we all know. If you want Joe Biden's ticket, ain't no way in hell you support Medicare for all. But like, even when she was on her own, we couldn't tell. But now it's cemented. It's cemented. We know that she does not. And there's no hope of anything. They're offering you nothing, man. They're offering you nothing. And, speaking of attacking Joe Biden for his racist policies, now we come to a very interesting point because the whole premise, the whole guise and mentality behind Joe Biden's VP pick was that he was going to choose a woman and a woman of color. Yes. And so that's why the short list was narrowed down to Kamala Harris, Susan Rice, and Karen Bass. And during the debates, if you recall correctly, Kamala Harris had a little spat with Joe Biden, and she called him out for his role in working with segregationists. So let me just play that clip for you very quickly to remind you, to jog your memory, yes?
It was hurtful to hear you talk about the reputations of two United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country. And it was not only that, but you also worked with them to oppose busing. And, there was a little girl in California who was part of the second class to integrate her public schools. And she was bused to school every day. And that little girl was me.
Oh. She went real fast from that little girl was me to what time do we bomb the Arabs, Joe? Dude, what is this? I swear, just because of this, I was like, no way he's going to pick her, man. The embarrassment. Can you imagine trying to walk this back for both of them? No way. He's going to go with Susan Rice. She's a war criminal. She's a neocon through and through. Come on. They worked together under Obama. Yeah, that's a bit more sensible, right? No. No, zero shame. Like, not just that he would pick her, but that she would even accept it. Zero shame. And once again, the whole premise behind this was that, oh, look, Joe Biden is so open-minded and forward-thinking and progressive. And look, he's picking not just a woman, but a woman of color. Dude, you pick Kamala Harris. She just showed you what a hypocrite she is. Apparently, she don't care about being that little girl anymore. Not to mention what she was saying about Colin Kaepernick. I mean, my head exploded when I heard her talk about that on The Breakfast Club. Do you remember, like, when she went on The Breakfast Club, not only did she receive the red carpet VIP treatment, meaning softball questions, they didn't actually grill her properly. They grilled Bernie Sanders. Fair enough. You're supposed to grill the motherfuckers. They're politicians. And not just politicians, they're running for president. You better grill them extra hard. But they didn't grill her. And on top of it, you know what she comes out and says? She says that Colin Kaepernick kneeling to protest police brutality was a Russian plot. You can't make this shit up. She fucking Russiagated him for protesting against police brutality and advocating for Black Lives Matter. You can't make this up. Take a look. Dude, that's such a Trump moment at the end. Oh, we already know we are. We already know they're doing it. Like, completely baseless. You heard her, what she said, right? She said that, oh yeah, Colin Kaepernick kneeling, that wasn't actually a thing. No, Colin Kaepernick is not the issue, madam. The issue is white cops killing black people. That's the fucking issue. And that is definitely a thing. You would know since you're LA's top cop, right? Matter of fact, she is such a cop. She is such a bootlicker and an ally and a collaborator of the establishment and the corporations that she even wanted to keep people in jail just to use them as slave labor. Yes, her, Kamala Harris. You remember this? This is back in 2014. This is under Obama. So she was the Attorney General of California. And look what she said, extending 2-for-1 credits to all minimum custody inmates at this time would severely impact fire camp participation. A dangerous outcome while California is in the middle of a difficult fire season and a severe drought. Yeah, that's code. That's code for, instead of allocating the required funding for our public services and utilities like the fire department so we can fight these bushfires. No. We're going to keep the prison labor going. We're going to keep this modern form of slavery alive and use the prisoners and pay them cents, using them as cheap labor to do what the government should be doing, but they're not doing. Unbelievable. And then there's that other case as well where she wanted to withhold evidence that was keeping someone in jail even though they were innocent. I think they were even on death row. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember the specifics of that one case. But, I mean, you're coming to me and you want to tell me that this lady, this woman, Kamala Harris, is an ally of people of color, of African Americans, of the working class, that she wants health care, that she's going to stand up against the corporations. Are you kidding me? This is insanity. This is insanity. And just to further illustrate this point, look at her record on Israel. She thought that Israel, quote, met international human rights standards overall. Okay. And she co-sponsored a resolution that was critical of Obama's decision to let the UN condemn illegal Israeli settlements, which, once again, when we talk about limiting the scope of debate, I mean, Obama condemning illegal settlements by the Israelis is in of itself a platitude. It doesn't mean anything. Palestinians are still getting their fucking homes bulldozed and are still being murdered. Condemning it does not do anything. Where are the sanctions? Where's the pressure? Why are you still giving them $38 billion? Right? Which is what Obama and Joe Biden did. But even then, even the condemnation draws condemnation. Like, how dare you criticize Israel? How dare you criticize them? Yeah, she's on that team. She's on that team. Unbelievable. And she voted for a resolution celebrating Israel's occupation of Jerusalem, which is through and through 120% illegal. Okay. UN Resolution 242 clearly states Israel has to get out of the Golan Heights, which are Syrian. Israel has to get out of the West Bank, get out of East Jerusalem, which they've been illegally occupying all these things since 1967. So not only does she not care about international law, does she not care about the norms and conventions that have been put in place at the UN, but on top of it, she didn't give a fuck about Palestinians. She's an ally to the Israel lobby group AIPAC, which you are all familiar with, of course. I mean, if in case that wasn't painfully obvious, dude, there's no way around it. If you support Israel, you are a racist. Israel can only exist at the expense of Palestinians. Always. If you come in and demolish one Palestinian home, that's a crime in of itself. Never mind expelling millions of Palestinians and taking all of their land and bulldozing millions of homes. Do you understand? One is too many. One is too much. Never mind killing Palestinians, putting them in open air prisons. So if you support that, you are a racist by default. There is no way around that. You support not just apartheid, you support genocide and ethnic cleansing. Apartheid is when you have a two-tier justice system, a two-class society, which is the case inside of Israel. But occupied territories, as they like to call them, when we're talking about the zone A, B, and C, all have different regulations. They've done this salad on purpose. And when they're dropping white phosphorus and they're dropping cluster bombs on people, that's not apartheid anymore. When you're bringing people in from all over the world to settle, that is ethnic cleansing by definition. Never mind the fact that you are killing Palestinians on top of it. Also ethnic cleansing. So there's no way around that. Never mind her record at home inside of LA, inside of the United States. I don't care if she was the most progressive and she had the most squeaky clean record domestically. If you support Israel, you support what's happening in Palestine, you are a fucking racist. You are supporting ethnic cleansing. Just like anybody who supported apartheid South Africa, but this is on another level. And people who were in apartheid South Africa are saying that themselves, who were living under apartheid. Look at Palestine and has said that shit is on another level. Both of them wrong, but like I said, man, Gaza is the third most densely populated place on the planet. The unemployment rate, the youth unemployment rate is on another level, 80%. They're dropping white phosphorus and cluster bombs. They conduct airstrikes on these people. That's not just apartheid, that's a military occupation, and she supports that. So that tells you everything you need to know, never mind all the other stuff that we just looked at. And I find this just so insulting to the working class. It's so insulting to people all over the world because this affects everybody globally. And it's so insulting that you would try to put a mask or a Band-Aid over her terrible record, over her terrible policies. Because that's the whole thing, right? They want to play this identity politics game. Like, oh, look, we picked a woman and she's a woman of color. But she actually supports policies that hurt women women of color, that hurt people of color inside the United States, outside of the United States. She doesn't want to give you anything. No health care, no wage increase. She's not going to give you free college. No Green New Deal, no action on climate change. Just letting the planet burn. Dude, the first people that are going to suffer are people of color. The first people that are going to be on the receiving end of imperialism are people of color. What are you talking about, man? And you're going to have people that are going to be like, you would have been pissed off anyway, no matter who Joe Biden picked. Yeah, you're damn right, bitch. Yeah. And that's an indictment on how corrupt and atrocious American politicians are. That's an indictment upon your nation, not me, motherfucker. Do you understand? Get that through your skull. You're damn right, I would have been pissed, no matter who he picked. You think I would have been happier with Susan Rice? I don't give a fuck. She's a neocon through and through. She was ambassador to the UN under Obama, saying, yeah, let's go fund jihadists in Syria. Let's keep bombing the crap out of countries that we have no business being in. What, you think she's any better? There is no lesser of two evils or three evils in this case, man. At the end of the day, anybody who's allied with your enemy, someone like Joe Biden, is not your fucking friend. I mean, just think of how ludicrous this idea is that Joe Biden could possibly pick someone who's a good choice. Who? How are they a good choice when Joe Biden is in the driver's seat? That no matter who is his VP pick, the car is going in the wrong fucking direction. You can't rationalize that. You can't pressure Joe Biden from the left. Are you dreaming? Show me, please, during the last 60 years when Joe Biden has been pressured from the left successfully. You can't, because the entire political apparatus is fucking right wing. And they all work for corporations. Stop deluding yourself. But once again, this is an indictment upon how little they respect you, how little they care about you. And they wave it in your face, even Bernie Sanders. Oh, congratulations on not giving the working class anything. Like adding insult to injury, how he said that, oh, she's going to stand up for working people. Really? When has she done that, Bernie? Man, they playing you. They playing all of us. We all getting fucked with this. Make no mistake. All right. Beyond insulting, beyond aggravating. We got to laugh, otherwise we're going to cry. You feel me? We got to laugh, otherwise we're going to cry. And this is really, really messed up, man. Do you still think they're going to beat Donald Trump? You think this is a winning ticket? Be honest with yourself. You screwed either way. Screwed either way. It's two factions, two wings of the same party. Don't get it twisted, man. They're all oligarchs. They all work for the corporations. They're all fucking racists. They all uphold white supremacy and imperialism, and they are all not going to change a goddamn thing. You know this, and I know this. Do not kid yourself. But you're still going to have people who are going to be like, maybe Bernie Sanders will be the Treasury Secretary. They just can't let go, man. They can't let go. They can't let go. You think I'm making this up? I wager you. Just look it up. You'll find somebody saying shit like that. Do it. Yeah. And by the way, may I just illustrate another point? And this is not exclusive to the United States, by no means. You see this in Lebanon. You see this in the United Kingdom. These people are all self-serving and part of the same club. Just because Susan Rice didn't get the VP pick does not mean that she is excluded from the administration. Just because Pete Buttigieg dropped out of the race does not mean he won't play a part in Joe Biden's cabinet. You saw that list that leaked saying that Pete Buttigieg is a potential candidate for ambassador to the United Nations. How fucking insulting, man. Like as if the United Nations isn't corrupted enough by the United States strong arming everybody and defeating the purpose of the United Nations. But on top of it, he wants to send that fucking rat, that CIA bastard who would, I mean, he has a fucking map of minerals in Afghanistan in his room. Like, I'm not kidding, dude. This guy goes to bed jerking off about how he can steal Afghani resources. So that he would send this rat to the UN to represent America and crap all over the international community. You might see Susan Rice as National Security Advisor. You might see her as Secretary of State. They always shuffle around in positions, okay? Just like you saw Joe Biden, Vice President. Now is his turn maybe to become president. Doubt it. Just like you saw Boris Johnson. That dude was mayor of London. Then he's the foreign secretary. Now he's the fucking prime minister. And then health minister becomes the foreign secretary. Just shuffling from one role to the next, helping their buddies go from one role to the next, even though these two positions have nothing to do with each other. Yeah, make no mistake, man. You'll probably see the same actors, the same shady people in this administration if they even get into the White House. Make no mistake, they help each other out. But ironically enough, even though Bernie Sanders is kissing her ass, you won't see Bernie Sanders there. Just because he dared to veer off course a little. And make no mistake, even if Bernie Sanders got in, the foreign policy would have stayed shit and oligarchs would have stayed oligarchs. He wasn't going to change anything fundamentally, no pun intended, to borrow from Joe Biden. Do you understand? But even, nonetheless, you won't see Bernie Sanders on that list for nothing. But Joe Biden will help out everybody who stepped aside in good time. Yes. So there you go, man. There you go. Another nail in the coffin, man. Another nail in the coffin. So that means we're probably going to see debates between Kamala Harris and Mike Pence, yeah? And, yeah. I don't see Joe Biden winning this, man. I mean, who knows? I could be wrong, but what I would draw your attention to, the oligarchs win at the end of the day, and the working class loses, no matter what. That's a certainty. We can't argue about that. There's no debating that. That's a certainty. So there you go. That's all I'm gonna say about this shit. This fucking clown show. That's all I'm gonna say, man. Let me read your comments, yo. Let me read your comments. We got 266 people watching, but only 163 likes. I need you to throw a shoe at the goddamn like button. It helps with the algorithm, okay? YouTube does not like independent news, so they keep us in a cave. So help us out with the algorithm. Make sure you tap the like button. If you're on mobile, if you're on your phone, you got to hide the live chat. It's behind the live chat, okay? And let me read your super chats real quick, all right? Thank you very much for these contributions. Man, we got to laugh. Seriously, like this has been such a wild fucking ride, man. What a wild fucking ride. Seriously. All right, Ben, my man Ben, thank you very much for the super chat. Says we're doomed. Poppy, please just kill me now. Dude, no. You're going to stay for the movie. You're going to watch till the end. You're not going nowhere. The Whip Sport Stock Fan, thank you for the super chat. It says, no surprise here. In other words, President Harris. Oh, you think they're going to swap him out? So do you remember this conspiracy theory? I mean, who knows? It wouldn't be the first time they've done that. The DNC has done that in the past where they've swapped the candidate at the last minute. So who knows? Joe Biden might pull out all of a sudden and be like, due to health concerns or such and such. I don't know, dude. Does it really matter? Once again, you get screwed either way, unfortunately. But that would be interesting. That would be quite the plot twist. Josh and Stuff, I got you, man. Thank you. And Andre Torres, thank you for the super chat. Says, comrades, let's look forward. Let's look toward a future and start building the People's Party, aka Movement for a People's Party. Well, yeah, you ain't getting nowhere with the Democrats. So I think that's abundantly clear. And the Green Party, well, we covered that, what happened with the Green Party. Go and watch my segment on that. And Movement for a People's Party. If I'm not mistaken, this is, I heard about them first from Nick Brana. I think it was on Jimmy Dore's show, right? So there you go. Colin, thank you, Habibi, for the super chat. Says, you are spared my Rice rant if she was picked VP. Dude, Susan Rice is really an interesting type. Kamala Harris, she has like a kind of her demeanor is very, it's too upbeat. It's too fake. Do you know what I'm saying? Susan Rice is more of a cold, calculated neocon. Like she'll just stare you in the face and say, like, yeah, I'm coming to bomb you. I'm coming to drone strike you. But Kamala Harris is like, oh, well, under Joe Biden's plan, we're going to have a fantastic foreign policy, and this is going to see a real advancement for people of color worldwide. And then you hear an explosion go off. But it's the same shit. It's the same shit at the end, man. Oh, God. I was going to be way more angry, though, with Susan Rice in terms of my rant as well. I mean, I'm laughing at Kamala Harris because of the fucking hypocrisy. Like, Susan Rice didn't run in this primary. Do you feel me? But watching these people step back, let Joe Biden pile drive Bernie Sanders, and then get back on board as if they were never involved is really hilarious. Like, you can really see how these people are climbers and careerists. And, I mean, you are the last thing on their mind. Your well-being, giving you healthcare, stopping the wars, stopping imperialism, closing down the military bases. That's the last thing on their fucking mind, man. Their careers, that's what they're concerned with. Yeah. Make no mistake. So there you go. Preston, thank you for the super chat. Says, no shame. She would eat a scab off a dog's knee. That sounds like a Southern phrase. Is that a real phrase? I hadn't heard that one before. Yeah. I think any of them would, man. All these politicians. They corrupt and dirty, man. They all fucking shady as hell. Melanin, thank you for your lovely donation. Says, we're going to have to watch Pence eat her alive in the debate. Now, real talk, I don't know how Pence debates. So I have no clue. But Donald Trump and Joe Biden, oh boy. Like, I'm not even looking forward to them anymore. Like, I thought at one point, man, this is going to be hilarious to see Joe Biden getting eaten alive by Trump. Not because, anyone likes Trump, but just because they're running an even worse candidate than last time, thinking that this shit is going to work and Joe Biden can't even speak properly. Like, what the fuck are they expecting except a goddamn, Titanic failure? But Kamala Harris and Mike Pence, I don't know, dude. We're going to watch it, though. You know it. September 29th, we got the debate between Trump and Biden. Is going to be live on this channel. And we'll definitely watch the Mike Pence Kamala one. We're going to have to suffer together. Sorry. You signed up for this when you subscribed. You're going to suffer with me, man. So there you go. Rusty Husky says, great reporting, Poppy. Where's Elizabeth Warren? I was going to get to her. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. So, in regards to Elizabeth Warren, I just want to say one thing, man. Rants for like 5 hours. I'm not just going to say one thing, man. So when it comes to Elizabeth Warren, okay, when it comes to Warren, the snake, Elizabeth Warren, she screwed Bernie Sanders last time in 2016. Do you remember when she was being vetted for VP by Hillary? Yes, she thought she was the chosen one last time. And then they brought in Tim Kaine. I never heard of Tim Kaine. I breathe in shit politics, and I know who this guy was. And they went with Tim Kaine, which once again shows you how much they loathe you. They won't even budge 1 inch, 1 centimeter. Because look, just again, I'm going off on a tangent, but it's not a tangent. It's a very important point that needs to be highlighted. Joe Biden gave you a platitude. He chose the identity politics route, which is the neoliberal way, instead of actually giving you like a few concessions by picking Bernie Sanders, right? I'm 100% sure some people would have still held their nose and voted for Biden if he had picked Bernie Sanders as VP. Me personally, that's a smokescreen. That's a joke. It's a facade. Even if he picked Bernie Sanders as his VP, it doesn't mean anything. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. You need to understand this, okay? And nonetheless, he might have secured a higher turnout. He might have excited the base a tiny bit more, but he wouldn't even give you that. And this goes to show you, in the grand scheme of things, not just in terms of this presidential cycle, but just in general, how the neoliberals won't budge a fucking centimeter. Nothing. Even for Medicare for All, he got worse than Hillary. Hillary wanted to lower the eligibility in Medicaid from, 65 to 55, and Joe Biden only lowers it from 65 to 60. I mean, either of these is a fucking insult. I don't even know what that means, dude. Like, I'm sick. I go to a doctor. Alhamdulillah. Thank God. I've healthcare. I don't understand this concept of what the fuck they're giving to you. That's bullshit. I don't tolerate this. I don't tolerate it on your behalf. You understand? I don't tolerate it for you. So you shouldn't fucking tolerate it either. And Joe Biden goes further back. He regresses in terms of Hillary. So once again, just observe, pay attention to how much they disrespect you, how much they loathe you, how they crush you. They put their fucking boot in your face and trample all over you and stomp your goddamn face into the ground and then tell you to come out and vote for them. It's unreal. The level of disrespect is cataclysmic. So I just wanted to say that. And, you know, Elizabeth Warren, I don't know if she's that dumb that she would get played twice in a row. I have no clue. I think these people are just climbers. So, like, if she sees an opening and she thought, okay, well, if I can screw Bernie Sanders and curry favor with Joe Biden, maybe that gives me an opening this time. Who knows? But then he goes and picks Kamala Harris, right? Or declares that he's going to pick a woman, and then he said, okay, it's a woman of color. Okay, man, that's lovely. I don't think anyone has a problem with seeing a woman of color either as VP and even better as the president. But what the fuck are these policies? Where is the change? What are you doing for people of color? What are you doing for women? What are you doing for the working class? Zero. Again, like, they just don't give a fuck. No respect. And you know, I know these kinds of people, man. This is not some like exclusive to the US. Dude, you can go to any country on the face of the planet. Even in the global south, okay? You can go to Syria, my country, and you're going to find Syrians who will gladly serve the white man and pretend that they care about the Syrian homeland and their fellow Syrian citizens. Meanwhile, they fucking over the country. You always going to find a small group of traitors. You're always going to find a small group of people that are careerists, climbers, opportunists, right? And pretending that they have your interests at heart, but they're actually just serving the white man. They're serving the imperialists. You're always going to have this. And Kamala Harris is one of those people, right? So I know her type. I've seen this shit in the Arab world. I've seen this shit everywhere, right? It's not a new phenomenon. She's a neoliberal, dude. Like, what the fuck more do you want me to say? She's a fucking neoliberal. It's just everything you need to know. You cannot be a neoliberal or a neoconservative and not serve white supremacy and not serve the corporations and not be screwing over the working class, because those two things are diametrically opposed. All right. It's one or the other. You can't be both. And the way things are looking now, I don't even know what the term progressive means. So that's all I wanted to say. But anyway, just reading your comments, just reading your super chats. Colin, Habibi, thank you again for the donation. Says, I'm interested to see what Mr. Harris thinks of his daughter being VP. Oh man, oh shit. I completely forgot about that. You reminded us last time. Dude, let me pull it up. Because I want people to see Kamala Harris' dad, what he said, man. Like, we have to quote this, right? We have to quote this. We have to show. So this was a few months ago, right? When was this? Hold on. Donald Harris is her father, right? Oh no, it's not a few months ago. Damn, am I that old already? It's been a year. So here we go. Let me show you this from her parents. Okay. So I'm also curious to find out what he's going to say now, but this is from February last year. All right. This is what Kamala Harris' dad said about his daughter last year. So he said, the headline reads, Kamala Harris' father is slamming her for making a travesty, a quote unquote travesty of her Jamaican heritage. So I want the exact quote. Where was the exact quote? They put it in the subtitle. But look what he said. It's in the subtitle. They said he rebuked her over being a pot smoking joy seeker. Is this after the Breakfast Club interview? It could be. It could be after that one. Which was actually completely ridiculous in of itself, because I remember watching that. I remember watching the interview with the Breakfast Club, right? And okay, so let me just read you the quote from her dad first, okay? So he said this: "My dear departed grandmothers, as well as my deceased parents, must be turning in their grave right now to see their family's name, reputation, and proud Jamaican identity being connected in any way, jokingly or not, with the fraudulent stereotype of a pot-smoking joy seeker in the pursuit of identity politics. Speaking for myself and my immediate Jamaican family, we wish to categorically dissociate ourselves from this travesty. Dude, that is one of the harshest rebukes on record, man. I mean, the pot smoking is the least of the infractions on her record, honestly. But nonetheless, I understand the sentiment. I can understand his sentiment. But I remember when she was giving this interview on the Breakfast Club, she was saying shit like, yeah, of course I smoke weed, and I used to listen to Tupac and Snoop Dogg when I was in high school or something, in college. And I was thinking, hold on, wait a second. When did she go? When is she talking now? What year is this? And I looked it up. And when she was in college, Snoop Dogg was fucking 17, man. No one knew who the fuck Snoop Dogg or Tupac. No one knew about them. They didn't drop no music. Do you see how much she fucking lies? Like, I was interested because I'm a hip hop fan. I was like, what? She's listening to Tupac and Snoop. What record? When is this? What year is this? And I looked it up. I was like, bitch, they weren't even known. You fucking lying just to look cool on the Breakfast Club. How pathetic. How pathetic. She even lied about what kind of music she listens to. I mean, that is... Okay, once again, that's the mildest of the infractions compared to the other shit she's doing. But nonetheless, I think... How pathetic, man. How pathetic. Because this was like in the late 80s, right? And Tupac's first album is Tupacalypse Now, and he drops that in 91, right? And Snoop's first record also comes out in 91, 92. And The Chronic comes out in 91, 92. So no way she was listening to them when she was in school. She's a fucking bullshitter. But once again, that's the mildest of the issues, okay? I've always wanted to share that with someone because I picked that out. And I was like, what the hell? No one called her out on this? Anyway, that's the least of the issues. What her dad just said about her, dude, that is explosive. I'm curious to find out what he thinks now that she's the VP pick for the most corrupt nation on the planet. But that was loaded, man. That was absolutely loaded. So thank you, Colin, for reminding us of that. Thank you, brother. So Nico, thank you for the super chat. Says, would have been nice to get Nina Turner. It never would have happened, but at least then Biden croaks a week after he's inaugurated. Well, the thing is, Nina Turner, she was pushing for Karen Bass, and I think there's 300 delegates from the DNC that proposed Karen Bass. And when I read that, when I heard that, I knew immediately Joe Biden is not going to pick her because just by the fact that she has some kind of broad support means that he's not going to do that. It's either going to be Susan Rice or Kamala. But once again, man, I mean, think about what we're discussing here. We're talking about the VP pick for Joe Biden. Like, what are you expecting from this? It doesn't matter who is in the fucking passenger seat. It's a train wreck. It's Joe Biden. The guy's a segregationist. He helped start the Iraq War. He's a mass murderer. He's a profiteer from the credit card companies, from big oil, right? And the big banks. Everything that happened under Obama's administration happened under his tenure too. He's the vice president. Listen, let's be straight here, man. Be real with me and be real with yourself. You can't tell me that the vice president position is important, but then when I tell you criticisms, I draw your attention to things that happened under Joe Biden's tenure with Obama. You're like, oh, that doesn't matter. No, you can't have it both ways. Either that position carries weight and responsibility and it is reflected on your record, or it doesn't. And so all of this means jack shit. Which one is it? You can't have it both ways. So he's equally responsible for that shit. Never mind his record in the Senate. I didn't need to look at Joe Biden with Obama to know that Joe Biden is a bastard. I mean, the segregationist stuff, the war on drugs, the crime bill, helping credit card companies. This happened when he was a senator. This happened when he was on his own, right? He didn't need Obama for that. So we know who he is and where he stands and what his record is. So don't get it twisted. But there you go. And like I said, man, no matter who you pick, it's a, it's a disaster. So Jason Choi, thank you very much for the super chat, brother. Says Trump is fiddling around being left of Biden with the new executive orders. Exactly. All he has to say is pot will be legalized and he'll win. Shit. You might be right. You might be right, man. No, but seriously, Donald Trump used this trick last time. He came at Hillary from the left on everything, which is very easy to do since he had no record as a politician. So you couldn't exactly hit him back with something, right? Only Hillary held public office. Donald Trump didn't. So she didn't have as much ammunition. Now, after 4 years in the Oval Office, there's more ammunition on Trump, definitely. But nonetheless, with these new executive orders, the 4 that he just signed before yesterday, I talked about them in the segment on Pelosi. Those are definitely to the left. He's putting a freeze on student loans. He's putting extending the moratorium on evictions. He kept the unemployment spike, but he lowered it a bit. But nonetheless, he kept it. And I mean, look, Donald Trump, he doesn't have to follow through on anything if he don't want to, right? His word is worth nothing, just like every other politician. But especially Trump, who's got no fixed position and goes left and right just to win. Yeah, he'll attack him from the left, man. It's a slippery slope. They're gonna fuck around and find out, man. Neil, thank you very much. Neil's only comment about this fiasco, this debacle that we find ourselves in is Ray. I understand, man. I feel it in my chest. I'm also angry. Anthony Acosta, thank you so much for your generous donation. I really appreciate it. Anthony says, how bad do things have to get for the working class to wake up? I'm convinced things have to get worse in order to spark a mass worker movement. It seems people are too busy clinging to their crumbs. Man, you fucking nailed it. And that's what's pissing me off because, look, the problem right now is that even though large swaths of people, a big part of the electorate, recognize that this is an atrocious pick, that Joe Biden, no matter who he picked, it's a terrible ticket because when it comes down to the substance and the policy, you're not being offered a single thing. Nothing. This is not benefiting you in any way. You do not owe these politicians your vote. They are not trying to better your lives. They're not putting your needs first. But nonetheless, you're not seeing the spark, right? Again, this is not an indictment upon you. It's more of an indictment on the education system, on the brainwashing by the mass media, on the cultural shift, on the neo-McCarthyist culture that has been fostered since the Cold War to make you believe that unions are evil and worker movements are evil and anything related to workers' rights and socialist movements and feminism and Black Lives Matter and rights for people of color is evil. That's what they want you to believe. That's what they've been brainwashing people with for the last century, right? So it's very difficult to pull people out of that, deprogram them and remove the conditioning. And unfortunately, you might be right. It might take a lot more to get that spark going. I don't know, man. Like, I'm seeing this shit. Once again, it affects all of us, whether you in or outside the US, but like, I'm seeing this and I'm offended on your behalf. Like, I'm insulted. I'm insulted for you. So how are you not feeling insulted? Like, you get me? So there you go. And once again, thank you, Anthony. Colin says Kamala using her blackness for clout. Dude, unfortunately, that's the case. I mean, once again, these people, I don't see them by their color or their gender. It's just they're neoliberals. You feel me? So I know already, no matter what comes out of their mouth, they're just using their options and resources to further advance their careers. That's all they care about. I already know that. You feel me? So anything that comes out of their mouth is just adding insult to injury. And that's the shit that pisses me off. Like, you still gonna have people looking at this now and trying to rationalize it and twist it and spin it into a positive. It's not a positive, dude, in any way. It's actually insulting because, if you tell me that Joe Biden picked a woman and a woman of color specifically because he cares about women and people of color, well, show me that in the policy. Show me that on his platform. You can't. You can't show it to me because it doesn't exist. And like, just logically, which one is more important? Someone getting a cabinet position or actually legitimately bettering the fucking lives and stopping the oppression of women and of people of color. Which one is objectively more important? Obviously, the latter, right? Not the cabinet position. But no, they want you to focus on the glossy shit. Like, oh, look, he picked a woman of color as his VP. Okay, that's great. What about the fucking policy? Can we get back to that? No. and then progressives like Che Cougar tell you to go wait until 2024. Get the fuck out of here, man. Nobody got time for that. Okay, people are dying. People are being oppressed right now, today, yesterday, 100 years ago. What do you mean wait till 2024? What does that mean? That's such a privileged thing to say. Do you feel me? Never mind insulting and completely disregarding the condition that people are in. It's just, no, I don't accept that. I don't tolerate this shit. So there you go. Basket of fries. Thank you very much for the donation. Says Kamala Harris, this chick would have locked me up as a minor for all the school I ditched. Oh shit. Yeah. Remember that this truancy is the term I'm looking for. Yeah, she was locking up parents because of that. Dude. Same, man. Except, I mean, ironically, I was skipping class to go read books. So, because, there you go. But that's it, man. That's it. She would have locked both of her asses up. What a ridiculous thing to pursue. And not to mention, don't ever forget that everyone, I'm talking about Amy Klobuchar, I'm talking about Kamala Harris, I'm talking about, matter of fact, all of them are lawyers. I think Bernie Sanders is the only one in this primary who's not a lawyer. I'm not kidding. Biden, all of them studied law. But my point is, all of these people who have held public office and who have been in the judiciary have refused to prosecute real, actual criminals, right? They didn't go after anybody from Wall Street, right? What did they do? They gave them a fucking bailout. They kicked you out of your homes and gave them a bailout. They didn't go after anybody that lied about the Iraq war. They didn't go after anybody involved in police brutality. And as I just pointed out to you, Kamala's record, I mean, not only is she complicit by being passive, but she actually actively helped them. She's like, no, I object to releasing nonviolent criminals. Keep the nonviolent criminals in jail so we can use them as slave labor. What the fuck? Dude, this is not even a color issue. This is a human rights issue. I don't care what the fuck your color or your race or your religion is. Nobody should be used as slave labor in 2020 or 50,000 fucking BC. Do you understand this concept? Like, just think how evil this woman is, that she insisted on keeping people, and on top of it, to fight fires, like putting their fucking lives in danger. It's not even a question of like, oh, you know, these prisoners are cooped up in cells all day, and you know that they're going to accept the pennies because they just want to get some fresh air. They want to get some time outside, you know, stretch their legs, go on a walk after being cooped up in a cell and confined all day. It's not just that. It's like, oh, go send them into fucking harm's way. Send them to go fight the fires. I mean, the level of corruption, the level of fucking evil that is going on here is inexcusable. Like, it's so transparent and crystal clear. You cannot rationalize the behavior of these people in any fucking way. There's no excuse to do this. And then on top of it, put them and ram them down people's throats and tell them, oh yeah, you see, these guys are better than Donald Trump. How, bitch? There's no fucking difference. You all maintaining the same shit. Nothing changes. One comes in, stays the same. He leaves, and then the next one comes in, stays the same. Nah, get out of here, yo. What? It's unreal. It's unreal. Emblem Fate, thank you very much for the donation. It says, Bernie shouldn't have taken poor people money if he wasn't going to fight Kamala. Yeah. If he wasn't going to fight. And Kamala was in last place. This is what happens when you fight Bernie, you idiot. Man, Bernie Sanders, once again, I know that a lot of people still have an attachment, let's put it that way, of sorts to Bernie Sanders. Understandably so, because, you know, after 40 years of neoliberalism, after 100 years of bullshit, after hundreds of years of bullshit, like, people want to cling to whatever new hope comes along. I understand that. But people need to understand as well that the whole strategy was flawed, right? When you have one person that is leading a movement, dude, the establishment are going to get rid of that dude. And they did it in front of you. You saw that shit. We saw that shit, how they coalesced behind Biden. Everybody got out of the way. They let Joe Biden just, you know, pile drive Bernie, and this is where we at now. So that was the danger of it. And you know, just to highlight something again, do you understand now? Do you see why it's important to have direct action? Why it's necessary for the workers to have power to be holding the cards? Because right now, right this fucking second, what should be happening is people getting out on the streets. Do you feel me? I'm not saying despite the pandemic, and I know there are already protests going on. I'm saying in general, when shit like this happens, when the political class, the ruling elites fuck you over, the response should be mass mobilization. Of course, people have the right to get angry on Twitter. Yes, get angry on Twitter or social media. That's where we have public discourse nowadays. My point is, though, there should be some kind of counterweight. Currently, there is none. There's no organization. There's no backlash. There's no response. There's no pressure. It's just giving them a carte blanche, giving them a blank check to do whatever they want, because they know there's not going to be a response. They know they can get away with the shit. Do you feel me? That is the issue. That's why I talk about laying the foundation. It's not enough to have a new political party. No, you need to scare the fucking living daylights out of these motherfuckers. You need to show them that, you think you're going to get in the White House and represent special interests? No, we are going to fuck the special interests before you even get in the White House, because we're going on a general strike. We're going to shut down the infrastructure. There's going to be no oil coming in or being refined. There's going to be no electricity. Bus drivers are going on strike. The teachers ain't coming to school. Fuck around and find out. Do you feel me? That's what I'm talking about when I advocate your history. It's just your history, man. It's the history of the working class worldwide. Mass mobilization works. Direct action works. And when they chip away, they destroy unions. They destroy socialist movements by smearing everybody as foreign agents, Russia gators, which she literally did, right? Like, you can't even kneel. Colin Kaepernick is not even allowed to kneel. And she starts pulling the Russiagate bullshit. That's how they get to the current state of affairs that we're in. Oh, they fucking smart. I'll give them that. Yeah, they fucking evil to another level. They did really, really a heck of a job at destroying and dismantling the working class and all of the power that they hold. Because you as workers, you are the ones creating the wealth. You are the ones in manufacturing, in service, in agriculture. All of us together combined, we are the ones creating the wealth. And we've seen that especially during the pandemic, because, oh shit, they want everybody to go back to work. Oh my God, we got to open the country again, which never even closed down. Like, the US did not do any kind of lockdown or quarantine. And nonetheless, we got to open the economy again. Why is that? Could it be that it's the workers, the working class, who are the true creators of wealth? Yes, of course. Man, these motherfuckers are smart. So there you go. There you go. Fidel Cashflow. That's a good name. Thank you for the super chat. Fidel says, hey, Richard, I'm going to be honest here, man. I feel depressed when I think about where this country's headed. How do you deal with negative thoughts? Well, shit, man, I don't even know. I'm trying to figure it out myself. But well, look, man, I was actually having a conversation about this yesterday with Mona, right? And we were talking about how, okay, maybe it's naive to think that this state of affairs, I'm talking globally, not just this presidential cycle, but can be remedied. But at the same time, I've had a lot of you guys say this. I've read this elsewhere. I've just seen many times people say that they used to be neoliberals, for example, and now they're lefties, which to me indicates that, okay, well, some kind of transformation, some kind of progress can be achieved. Do you understand? So I don't know if that sounds extremely naive or optimistic, but as far as I'm concerned, man, I mean, this shit is too egregious for me to just like sit back and not say anything. I'm looking at this shit like I'm angry on your fucking behalf. I mean, again, we're all affected in one way or another, right? But nonetheless, I'm angry on your behalf, and we have to point out these things. We have to point out that this cannot be tolerated. It's not about who Joe Biden picked, whether it's Susan Rice or Kamala Harris. It's about the fact you have Joe Biden in the driver's seat, right? And they offer you this as the alternative. That is the aggression. That is the issue here. That is the affront. That we are in a situation where the scope of debate has been limited so narrowly that the two parties are frankly indistinguishable from each other. That's the issue. And so you got to wake people up. You got to show them, no. These people are on the same team. They're working for the same corporations. to the point you can just Google that shit and look where their contributions come from. Like, it's not even a secret. Do you feel me? Like, they're indistinguishable. And you need to tell people that they have a right to be outraged, because they should be outraged. These are assaults upon your human rights, your civil rights, your dignity as human beings, right? Denying you healthcare, oppressing you because of the pigment of your skin, because of your religion. This is not, this is a human rights issue at this point. It's not even just politics or an election cycle. No, it's a human rights issue. It's been going on for too long, man. And I there you go. We got to educate each other, wake people the fuck up and deprogram them, because the only way they won is by programming and conditioning people, or brainwashing, whichever term you would like to use. If that's what worked in their advantage, then doing the opposite has to work in our advantage, does it not? And so once again, it's not just electoral politics you have to rely on. It's got to be direct action. You got to scare these motherfuckers and hit them where it hurts, man. The only thing they care about is the money. You got to go for the money, man. You got to go for the infrastructure. You got to go for shutting shit down. And the more decentralized, the better, because then they can't co-opt the movement. They can't cut off the head. It's going to be a multifaceted, separated structure, not just one figurehead like Bernie Sanders, for example, where they get rid of him, then, oh shit, everything collapses. No organization. All the grassroots is gone. So I hope that's somewhat of an adequate answer. John, my man John, thank you so much for the super chat. It says everyone on Twitter standing Kamala deserves 2 shoes and a boot. Where are these people's brains? Man, wallahi, she deserves a shoe. You already know. Like, she deserves a shoe. If I did not need the camera, I would have thrown it. But she deserves several shoes to her face. She does. She does. Man, I feel like I must I missed a few donations on PayPal, so please excuse me. Let me just pull them up. I'm in full rant mode, so I've been ranting away, and I missed a couple of donations on here. Let me just pull them up on the screen and read them to you. Okay, let me just do this for you guys, and because YouTube take 30% of every super chat, so some people donate on PayPal, and because I was so excited and ecstatic about Kamala's endorsement. As you can see, I was absolutely and overwhelmed and overcome with joy. So let me just get this pulled up, man. Dude, I'm really just I can't believe that we are in 2020. And you look back at 2008, you remember how people were super excited for Obama? And they wouldn't listen. Like, I was telling people back then, like, dude, first of all, I don't think this guy's going to win, because these old white dudes that are controlling the economy, the oligarchs, they're never going to let a black man into the White House, because they're fundamentally fucking racist. Like, this is America. Like, are you tripping? This is a country that enslaved black people for like 400 fucking years. What do you think, that you're going to let a black dude in? And I was wrong. He does get in, and then turns out he's just a neoliberal. And I'm like, oh, okay, now that makes sense. So, I didn't. Yeah. And people don't learn, unfortunately. So they think that, okay, well, if Joe Biden picks a woman of color now, that's suddenly making his platform better. No, we're past that. We're not 14 years old anymore, are we? We're not kids anymore. We got to look past this shit and look at the policies and look what they're offering you as workers, as people of color, as minorities, as human beings, for God's sake. What are they offering you when they ask you for your vote? When they ask you to be quiet and not protest? What are they giving you? Nothing. And that's not acceptable. So, we can't fall into this identity politics stuff when it's done in with ill intentions, and it's done in bad faith. You feel me? So just 1 second, y'all. Let me pull this up, and there you go. I want to read the other donations that I missed. My bad. But it's good. It's good spending this time with y'all. It's good spending this time with y'all. I don't have to suffer alone. Goddamn neoliberals ruined my dinner, yo. They ruined my fucking dinner. Anyway, if you have not subscribed yet, if you are watching for the first time, you've not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Throw a shoe at it. And more importantly, tap the bell. A lot of y'all still ain't tapped that bell. I know, because I can see the statistics. Don't play with me. I'm watching. So seriously, hit the bell icon and select all so you always get a notification. All right, guys. So let me just read these super chats for you. My bad that I missed them. Mona, I'm so sorry. I've been keeping Mona waiting this whole time, yo. Here you go. Mona says, Richie, always in quotations, right? You know, I just got to drop you some love. And also, I won. Don't rub it in. Just kidding. No one wins in this situation. Yeah. You know, I was having a little talk with Mona, and like I told you guys before, I thought it was going to be Susan Rice. Because I don't know, man. I guess I was preparing myself for the most vicious one because she was such a war hawk on Syria. And I was trying to get mentally prepared. I was like patting the walls. I was like, shit, it's coming, man. This bitch again. And you know, she was all for bombing Syria, for arming jihadists. And I figured, like, you know, she worked with Biden together, so why not? Once again, either one is a screwed choice up. There's no winning in this scenario. There's no winning. And here we are, man. So there you go. But don't rub it in, Mona. She tried to get me, man. Bless you, girl. Thank you so much. We got another donation over here. Thank you very much to Timothy Spritzer. This fix your shit, bro. Which shit? I'm confused. Which shit? Can somebody elaborate? I'm not sure what this means, man. Timothy, you gotta be more. What's the word I'm looking for? More specific, man. You gotta be more descriptive. But the working class needs to fix their shit. We out here, man. Hey, thank you very much, Maniac. Brother, thank you so much for this lovely donation. I really appreciate it so much. And I agree. Extremely shitty day in a shitty week within a shitty month inside of an extremely shitty year. And it ends with this Biden-Harris thing. That's the cherry on top, man. That's the cherry on top. Not that it's surprising, but still. So take this donation because the more time passes, the more voices like yours are becoming vital. And it's still going to get worse before this year is finally done, with the next year being already guaranteed to be even worse thanks to this corrupt electoral system. Sorry, no positivity from me right now. I'm counting on you to find some hope somewhere. And Bernie, Bernie can fucking go fuck himself. Biden-Harris is there in a big part because Bernie refused to do his fucking job as the leader of the progressive movement and couldn't bring himself to criticize his good friend Joe. He let the entire fucking world down and is now shilling for war criminals. Fuck that shit and fuck this date. Okay, like 100%, dude. 100%. That's why I told him to go fuck himself. I mean, I pulled this up on Twitter for you, right? Look, I mean, this is the only comment that I had to say. This is the only thing I could come up with because I saw, like, I'm formulating my thoughts, like, what is going on here? And, you know, Bernie Sanders is posting this, and I'm just like, dude, just shut the fuck up. Like, no. So, I mean, premièrement, merci énormément pour ton soutien, pour ton support. Thank you so much for the donation and the support. I really appreciate it. And you're 100% right, man. Like, let's not beat around the bush here. No pun intended, speaking of presidents. Let's not beat around the bush. Bernie Sanders, willingly, unwillingly, whether his goal was really to help the working class or he was there just to sheepdog people, whatever you want to chalk it up to, this is partly his fault because, listen, man, Bernie Sanders built something that you haven't seen for 100 years. He built a huge grassroots movement of the working class from all religions, ethnicities, ages. I mean, really, like he used to say, a multiracial, multi-generational movement. And where is it? As soon as he drops out, he leaves it, he puts it on the shelf. And I told you guys, Bernie Sanders doesn't even need to run as president to get shit done. If he would just ask people, tell people, call for them to go on strike, to do a rent strike, to do any kind of mass mobilization or direct action, you could get policy implemented. Never mind the fact he's a fucking senator. It's not like he's an outsider. And unfortunately, him not, fighting Joe Biden properly during the primary is one thing. He didn't even launch a single attack ad against Joe Biden. But afterwards as well, right this second, right now, he could be doing something. You don't have to just be running as president or running in a primary to get shit done. Case in point, Bernie Sanders himself. What was he doing in 2018, 2017? I'm talking between the last election, this one. He was getting shit done, right? Didn't he go and protest and help Amazon workers and Disney workers get a raise? I mean, it's just a beginning. You need everybody to have that fucking raise. But still, he knows he can get shit done on his own. And we didn't see that now. I guess it's just not meant to be, man. But yeah, this is just adding insult to injury. Man. Fucking Biden, Harris. Oh. What the fuck? What the fuck are we going to do with this? What are we going to do with this, man? Yo, I need to get some water. Yo, I've been yapping nonstop for like 2 fucking hours. Let me get a sip. I might need an actual drink rather than just water, but there you go. Let me just keep reading your chats, guys. I appreciate your support so much. So, just scrolling down to the next one. We got William. William, thank you very much for the donation. Says, I don't know what happened to the first time I sent it. Maybe I didn't do it right, but here it is. Remember the Carnation Revolution, Portugal, 1974. Love from the Grateful Heretic. So I need to do my homework on that particular one. But, when we're talking about revolution in the U.S., I mean, that's what, dude, people got to be real with themselves at this point, because you have one faction, and this has always been the question, right, among socialists. Reform versus revolution. Bernie Sanders was not a revolutionary. That guy was a reformist. Make no mistake. I told you just earlier that even if he had won, even if Bernie Sanders not just got the nomination, but was actually in the White House in January, nothing would really fundamentally change, because he was just going to make it a bit more, again, this is a contradiction of terms, but he was going to make it a bit more humane form of capitalism. No such thing, but a bit more Western European. Do you feel me? Like more of a social safety net, that your tax dollars are actually going towards funding public utilities and services instead of bombing people. Nonetheless, this wouldn't have actually changed anything, because you'd still have billionaires running the show. The political apparatus would still be in the hands of the oligarchs and the corporations. And so even Bernie Sanders was a reformist, not a revolutionary. And even though people like to call him that, because once again, the scope of debate has been limited. People's perception is so limited that even Bernie Sanders looks like a revolutionary when he's really not. But, at this point in time, man, you look at the US and what's happening there. Dude, I don't know how you can reform that. I mean, just looking at the police department, people are like, you can't reform that. And they're 100% right. Like that shit, that's not a training issue or a funding issue. Because even Bernie Sanders saying we need to give more money to the police. What? Yeah, you have people saying, they need more money for more training. No, that's not the issue. And so, I mean, just looking at the U.S. as a whole in general, can you ask yourself? Just ask yourself. Look inwards, okay? Look inwards. And ask yourself and be honest. Do you think that this is something that can be reformed? Look at the history. Look at the current situation. I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know. So there you go. Colin, thank you very much for the super chat. Says, Habibi, it's time for #Colin's rant. Bring it on. Not on what I thought I would be talking about, but this whole Kamala pick smells of black elitism to me. The Simone Sanders types have been going to bat for her forever in an attempt to maintain the identity politics narrative. I consider them traitors to the black community, as they are not about the lives of the common black experience, or they were, but they abandoned it in the name of money and fame. Instead of using their position to push for change in the black community, they use it to push themselves and their kind in their careers. Fuck them. Dude, like, this is once again going back to the perception of politicians. Like, you got to look at them based on their records and what they stand for, right? And I think the term you use, black elitism, that's a good one, man. That's very on point. These people are part of the 1% at the end of the day, right? Like, if you are not just protecting, but you actively working with and propping up someone like Joe Biden, who is an agent of the corporations, of course, what the fuck? Like, you are literally the 1%. You are working with these elites, and the same fucking elites that are responsible for imperialism, that are responsible for slavery, for genocide, not just 400 years ago, but now, right now, and will be tomorrow morning, and in the years to come. So not only is that traitor, is that treacherous towards workers, but like particularly to your own kind, 100%. I feel you. And like I said, I seen this shit inside of Syria. I seen this shit with Arabs too, man. You know, they sell out their own country to the Zionists, or they sell out their own country to the Americans or the British or the fucking French just to get ahead. Like, just Lebanon, for example, since Lebanon is in the news right now and there's complete turmoil. Just to give you an example, it's no coincidence that the people who are trying to get rid of Hezbollah and get rid of Diab and get rid of Aoun, so the prime minister and the president, it's no coincidence that they are also heavily in favor of Western intervention, foreign intervention. Do you understand? It's no coincidence that they're very rich and they're involved in all sorts of lucrative business dealings. Like, these people are prepared, they're ready, they're okay with bringing in the white man, they're okay with bringing in the Zionists and letting them play a part in Lebanese politics just for the sake of enriching themselves. And that shit makes me sick. So this is a worldwide issue. And once again, I'm looking at that shit, I'm like, man, like, these people got no shame. And you look in Bolivia as well, what they did, Janine Áñez, this interim president, where are these elections, right? It's been almost a year since they got rid of Morales in the name of democracy. Where the fucking elections at, right? Oh, so they got the time to get in contact with Elon Musk. They got the time to get in contact with the State Department. They got the time to talk to German corporations about how they're going to sell the lithium, but they ain't got the time to hold elections. Once again, traitors. They selling out their own to the white man just to make fucking money and get ahead in politics. Bullshit, disgusting. It makes my fucking blood boil. So I know exactly where you're coming from, and I feel you 100%. And it's really some fucked up shit. It really is, man. Like they say, you know, money and power, they corrupt. They corrupt. Nicola, thank you so much for the donation. Says, my neoliberal friend just got a medical bill for $1,400 after he went to the ER for just 3 hours a month ago because the left side of his body went numb. He just texted me saying now he supports Medicare for all. So that changed his mind, right? I can imagine, yes. Furthermore, he works for a really good private accounting company that has good benefits by U.S. standards. So that $1,400 could have easily been higher. Yeah, sometimes I see people talking about experiences such as the one you just mentioned, where they're citing these huge ass figures. I'm like, what the fuck? That's a good outcome? What? No, you shouldn't be paying shit. Like, this is what's also an issue with the framing, because when people say free healthcare, the ones that have been brainwashed, that are too far gone, they really think that it's free. Like, they don't understand that you actually already paid for this shit with your taxes. And it's not even a question of fucking taxes. Like, you're a human being. Every human being deserves healthcare. I don't give a fuck if they paid the taxes or they're coming as a tourist into the country or they're from another, they don't even speak the language. I don't give a shit. You see somebody that's hurt, you fucking help them. Who the fuck has time to look? Oh, do you have insurance? Wait, what? That's not the fucking point right now. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and that's the difference between having empathy and compassion and being heartless. That's what it comes down to. And I hope your friend is okay health-wise. And I'm glad they saw the light. But that's really unfortunate that they got to pay so much money, man. That's obscene. That's robbery. Like, I'm not, again, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this is the fault of nurses or doctors at all. But I think one option, one avenue that is worth exploring is having what we had in the UK at one point. You had junior doctors going on strike because of the conditions that were being imposed by the Tories, by the Conservatives on the NHS. And, this is something where not just unions, but just organization of the working class once again comes into play. Because if they're fucking with public services and public utilities and endangering people's lives, I mean, you really need to send a message. Do you get what I'm saying? You can't let them go on with this, man. It's fucked up. I don't know if you have junior doctors in the US, but I just remember this example. This was back in 2014, the junior doctor strike. And it's important. It just shows you, it accentuates, once again, illustrates the need for the working class to send a message, to stick it to them, man. So there you go. Mona, thank you for the donation. Mona says, okay, listen, I feel like we need a little positivity. Yes, we do. I know sometimes the world seems fucked up. Just sometimes. But you can be love. You can show love to those around you. You can organize in your community. You can do something in your world to help others. Believe me, this can help. Have you ever done something nice for someone and saw the direct results? You changed a situation for someone and it made their world better. We might not be able to fix everything, but the little things we do can impact those around us. Facts. I love you all, and hang in there, my friends. Much love. You see Mona as a ray of sunshine, right? There you go. Everything she said is 100% on point. It's not just about politics, but they orchestrated a system in which they want to make sure that people are constantly worked to fucking death. They're tired, they're exhausted, they're frustrated, and there's things we can do to help each other out. That's why I'm happy. I was saying this to Mona as well, that we built a community as well, because like if we all logging off afterwards and digesting this shit alone, man, yeah, it's not gonna be well. And I mean, look, let's be real. This shit with Kamala Harris is like one of the softest things that we've had to look at. I was reading some stuff earlier that I'm gonna tell you about in a bit that is on another level, and that is really upsetting, man. That is really upsetting. There's stuff happening in this world, and Joe Biden, speaking of which, and Kamala Harris and politicians in the UK are all complicit. Let's not make no mistake. But nonetheless, thank you for that, Mona. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Marissa, thank you for the super chat. Marissa says, 2 years ago, I went to the ER because I thought I had appendicitis. Was there 6 hours, and they said they couldn't be sure if I had it or not, but to come back if it got worse. The bill was what? Was over 10,000. What did they give you, a fucking car? Like, and they weren't even sure if you, what? Oh, dude. Like, I mean, that's not just corruption, that's incompetence, and I'm just floored. Like, I can't believe this. I really can't, dude. I do not tolerate this. No one should have to tolerate this shit. That's not okay. There is anyone, I'm talking anyone, who justifies this shit and says that this is either okay, like someone who, like Ben Shapiro, for example, who has his head up his ass, or people who propose incrementalism and tell you to be quiet and wait. Both of them they're in the same camp, because they're essentially telling you to shut up and swallow this kind of shit. And I tell you, fuck that. This is unacceptable, man. What? No. And I think it's especially egregious that even during a pandemic, now, they couldn't give you healthcare. They couldn't even give you free healthcare for getting tested and the treatment. And all the politicians, the progressives, were there to vote for the COVID packages, the stimulus packages, get that passed, right? But they never took a stance. Like, the reasonable thing to do, if you are in Congress, the reasonable thing to do, when you see a bill in front of you that says, we're going to give $60 billion to Boeing, we're going to give trillions to the corporations, at the fucking bare minimum, I mean, you should veto that shit regardless. Like, you look at that, I mean, you put that shit in front of me, you tell me Boeing is going to get $60 billion, I would tell you to go fuck yourself. I don't care if you, I don't care what the fuck you do. I'm not putting a yes on that. It's not happening. Do you understand? It's not happening, motherfucker. But at the very least, like, even if you want to play devil's advocate, they should have said, we'll only vote yes if Medicare for all is included, not just COVID testing, Medicare for all, the whole thing forever, and 2,000 plus UBI for the foreseeable future at the very least. Like, that's what you do, and none of them did that. And they had multiple chances to do that. So you can't excuse their fucking behavior, man. Like, why is it that every single bill, every single time there's legislation, you have to compromise for them, for the corporations who are swimming in money? Why is it always the case? Why is it always that you have to accept a half measure and never the corporations? Why? And why do progressives come and tell you that this is an okay mentality? And they vote in this manner and speak in this manner? No. That's not fucking acceptable. You've compromised more than enough. And compromise is, that's putting it lightly. You getting shat on. You getting exploited. That's what's really happening. Because it's not just that, oh, the government has X amount of funds and they gave everything to corporations. It's your fucking funds. It's your money. You're literally getting robbed. I mean, how anyone can tolerate this is fucking unbelievable, man. Should never be tolerated. And the mentality should be vehemently rejected. Like, you could make the case, I'm serious, you could make the case that the Democrats, and especially people who call themselves progressives and give you incrementalism, are even more dangerous than conservatives in the context of US politics. Do you understand? Because the conservatives straight up tell you, fuck you, no Medicare for all. Like, you know where they stand, okay? You know where they stand. The Democrats, and specifically progressives, who vote like neoliberals but talk a good one, they always give you incrementalism, but you still got no policy achieved, right? They pretend to be on your side, they pretend to be an ally, but when it comes down to it, when it's crunch time, when it's time to fucking vote, they're not on your side. They tricked you, they fucking playing you. I would argue that's even more dangerous because it allows for an extended, continued, repetitive cycle of getting fucked. That's what it accomplishes. And that's not the goal. You didn't vote for these people to give you... Look, man, when somebody's running for Congress and you go and vote for them, did you vote because they put Medicare for all on the fucking flyer, or because they said that I'm going to give trillions to corporations and I'll get you a one-time check and we'll see about Medicare for all? Like, if you could have a preview of their voting record, you would not fucking vote for them. Don't, like, you know that and I know that. All right? You know that and I know that. This is bullshit. Like, they had multiple opportunities. They always have opportunities. They have an opportunity every single minute to speak out. I'm fucking speaking out. Where are they? Why are you seeing the same energy from them? Why are they not as outraged? Why are they not trying to put their foot down and use their position in Congress to do these kinds of actions? To put conditions, right? Say, okay, oh, you want to give XYZ such and such money? You want to give this corporation that much money? No, you give Medicare for all first, and then we give you that money. Maybe. That's if we even agree to that. You feel me? But they never do it. They won't. They just give things unconditionally. There's no strings attached. And they even do that with Israel, right? Like, even Israel, which is like, I mean, I'm showing you people's houses getting bulldozed and being fucking murdered, and they still just give them the money. Like, you can't win with these people, man. Forget it. Victoria says, keep up the good work. Much obliged. Thank you very much for your kind words. And I'm really grateful. We also got another donation from Mona. None other than Mona says, I have good health insurance. My friend has the same. She said she doesn't support Medicare for all. because she has good insurance and she doesn't want to lose the benefits of essentially being treated better. Well, she said that in not so many words. Yeah, but I get it. I understand what she's trying to say. And that's not, I mean, it makes no sense because even the best private plan is not going to be as good as universal single payer. Does that make sense? First of all, you're not getting ripped off like financially. And second of all, it's universal. That means everything is covered. It's not pick what you want. Like, oh, I want to cover my appendix and I don't want to cover my leg. No, it's universal. Every condition is covered. Dental, everything. So you go. The American propaganda of taking care of yourself and fuck everyone else. This is what we need to change. Teach empathy and compassion and community solidarity. Thank you, 100%. And it's really telling that they have stigmatized even the word socialism or communism, and to the point that doing anything in the name of the working class or in solidarity is taboo. Right? According to Kamala Harris, you can't even kneel in solidarity now that you're a Russian agent. Colin Kaepernick is working in the Kremlin. I'm telling you, man, he works just down the hall from me. We play, we shoot hoops together, man. You didn't know? we play catch. We do all sorts of things, man. You know. Fucking Russian agent. Fuck me. That's the worst one. Like, that is the worst one. A fucking football player is working for, like, in the name of a Russian agenda. The dude has no connection in any context. I can't believe this, dude. I really can't. Like, she might as well have taken that from. I mean, if I had given you that quote, you might have thought Mike Pence said that, right? Or Ted Cruz or some fucking right winger. Well, guess what? Turns out the Democrats are right wingers. Shocker. Yes. Shocker. Nicola, thank you for the super chat. It says, speaking of Ben Shapiro, did you see that douche reading the lyrics to Cardi B's new song, WAP? Or WAP? Some of the funniest shit I ever seen. So look, man, honestly, as somebody so eloquently put it, that was one of the biggest self-owns. That's probably the biggest self-own when he was talking about his wife as well. No, that shit is too cringy. And you had a sister coming on as well afterwards and defending that shit on Instagram. And I was just like, what a fucking conundrum. Like this man, this dude is so an idol for people. Like, they go to this clown for politics. I mean, no fucking wonder. Like, no fucking wonder. Honestly, as pathetic as that was, watching him read the lyrics, have you seen that shit, that tweet, 2 tweets rather, that he said about Arabs a couple years ago? What he said about Arabs, he still hasn't taken it down. Like, that guy is so fucking racist. Like, I'm not forgetting that one, man. I'm not forgetting that one. So to me, that's the biggest affront. That's the most egregious thing, honestly. That shit that he said about Arabs, he, like, unbelievable. Vladimir, thank you for your super chat, for the sticker. I think you're cool too. Dude, how do we get the custom stickers? I swear I seen custom stickers on TYT once. Didn't they have like custom heads and shit? We need to do those, but like we need to get some shoes. We need to get like I don't know. What other PNGs do we have and GIFs do we have in Discord? I can't remember, but just a bunch of funny shit. The crab, for example, we need to get a crab, definitely for the crab dance. There we go. Vero says Kamala is Cruella de Vil. Bah ouais, en gros c'est ça. Hein. En gros c'est ça. Non mais une catastrophe. C'est vraiment une catastrophe. Là, ce qui se passe aux États-Unis, c'est putain. Il y a pas d'espoir. Hein. C'est mort. Jefferson, thank you very much for the donation, for the sticker. Keep it up. You know I will. Much obliged. And Emblem Fate, thank you for the donation. Says, Dems sure do love slavery. Obama brought it to Africa. Now Kamala with the Democratic Party. It's evil. Evil X would hate them both if he was here. Listen, man, that's something that people don't even recognize. Like they think that what happened in Libya or in the Middle East in general, the Arab Spring in 2011, they think that, oh, that was some kind of pro-democracy endeavor, and oh yeah, the United States, they're so noble for lending their support. Dude, most people have no clue that in Libya, because they removed Gaddafi, they got rid of Gaddafi, you had fucking slavery, like in the streets, like in the open. I'm not kidding. There are pictures of this, and I went back and looked at them again recently because, like, just it's unreal. Like you look at the shit like, no, your brain does not want to believe it that this is the 21st century and this shit is still happening. I mean, it's not right in any fucking century, but the United States are going on the other side of the fucking globe and coming and bombing your country and saying, oh, we're here for peace and democracy. And then this is what they bring you. And then people don't even want to acknowledge that. You tell them about it, they don't care. It's just like, it's hopeless. I'm serious, dude. Like, I've had so many conversations with people. I try to point out how every president, how every political, every cabinet and every administration or regime, as we should be saying, they're all the same. And they just don't want to believe it. They still have this illusion. They've bought into this lie that, oh yeah, there's still some areas where, Biden would be better or Obama was better. And no, stop. Like, you're grasping at straws at this point. And I want to make something else clear, dude. When somebody is implementing policies that are so messed up, it gets to a point, there's a threshold where you can't excuse anything anymore. Like, you can't go and bring back open slave trade markets in Libya and decimate all these countries and not give people health care and bail out Wall Street and then tell me that, oh yeah, there's still some good. I don't care. It doesn't matter. All this, do you see this big pile of shit over here? That cancels out whatever good that you found. Like, you are purposely lying to yourself and lying to me and lying to others. How can you ignore that shit? How can you ignore all this suffering and then focus on like some tiny insignificant shit that is dwarfed in comparison to all the bad things? Why would you do that? Like, why are you so adamant? Why are you insisting upon defending these people? Like, don't you have any fucking compassion? I don't get that. I really don't get that. Joseph, thank you for the super chat. Says, Kamala's campaign had members from this Center for a New American Security in her campaign. She'll bring Hillary's foreign policy advisors. You fucking know it. Of course. We know, of course. It's going to be a copy-paste of every previous administration. Neocon through and through, man. We know this. I mean, just look at Biden himself, right? He's in the driver's seat, allegedly. It's the corporations that are in the driver's seat. But I'm trying to simplify things. But nonetheless, these people all share the same positions on foreign intervention, on Israel, on funding the military bases. They ain't closing none of that down. They're not pulling any support, any troops. Nothing's going to change. We know this for a fact. And even with Bernie Sanders, honestly, none of that shit was going to change. I told you, if he gives you healthcare, that'll be a miracle in of itself. If he gets you free college, that's a miracle in of itself. But I don't think he's going to do anything for foreign policy. I don't think he even can. It's not even like, it's not even up to them. Like, you're kidding yourself. The corporations run the fucking show. So, and these think tanks and these groups that these cockroaches work for are vermin. They should be fucking tried for war crimes, man. I'm serious. Like, these people are so evil that you go and look at, again, this is just one example, but you go and look at how they communicate with each other over email, right? I'll never forget that shit with Neera Tanden. And I think Bernie's campaign manager was in that email chain. He was in that conversation, Faiz Shakir. I don't think he was agreeing with Neera Tanden, but he was in the conversation in any case. And she's like openly saying like, yeah, you know, when we go and invade Arab countries, they should pay us back with their oil. What? Yeah, like she's on that level of fucking psychosis. Like these are the kinds of people that run the Democratic Party. And Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are no different. They're the same kind, 100%. Make no mistake. Don't even get it twisted. You have their records. Neil, am I saying your name correctly? Neil Fraser, thank you very much for the donation. Says greetings from Hong Kong. Keep fighting, man. I appreciate it very much. This is really dope. I love it when we have international support scene, people from all over the globe watching. That's really awesome. Thank you so much. Emblemed Fate says there are protests right now. Bernie, get Joe's DIC out your mouth. I can't read because the text is too fucking small. Yeah, okay, there you go. So Bernie's not a revolutionary, not a reformist. Bernie's a fake revolutionary. Well, look, once again, man, I mean, willingly or unwillingly, I mean, you go and implement every single one of his policies. It's just reform. Bernie Sanders was trying to put a Band-Aid on capitalism, you know, like instead of actually. Do you feel me? That's the issue. If Malcolm was here and you told him the first black president brought slaves to a strong, independent Afro-Muslim nation, there would be an army at the White House. Yo, that is some real shit right there. That is one of the best fucking comments I've read. You 100% right. And that's why they killed Malcolm X. That's why they killed Martin Luther King. That's why they killed people who were actually going to bring about change, who were actually real, who were genuine. Do you feel me? Because they're a threat. That's some real shit right there, man. 100%. Like, I think that speaks, your comment speaks to how desensitized people have become. Because in a society that is educated, that is civilized, that has empathy and compassion, everybody would be outraged. Like you wouldn't need one person or Malcolm X or one specific person to lead people to do that. Like the collective society, the collective populace would be outraged on their own. But because the media are lying to you on a daily basis, they won't even tell you about that. Because they brainwash you into idolizing these politicians instead of grilling them and actually holding them accountable. Because they don't educate you about these countries. People are not outraged. They're pacified and they're dumbed down. And that's not some tinfoil hat shit. This is conditioning. They have this shit nailed down to a fucking science. Okay, they manufacture your consent, right? As Chomsky puts it. So they make you. I mean, not you guys watching. You guys are switched on, but I'm talking in the general sense. Like most people in the West are just. They don't care. They don't know. But you're right. People like Malcolm X who were genuine and who understood what routes, what methods need to be used to show the people in power who holds the cards. These people get rid of them. If you're a real threat, they get rid of you. If you're doing your job properly, they get rid of you. And, you know, what they did, man, they destroyed that country, yo. Like, you can't show me one country. You cannot point to one country that the US intervened in and tell me that they're better off now. And the same goes for the UK. You can't show me none of them, man. So there you go. And Juan Louis, thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. It says, keep fighting, Richie. You got it, man. You got it. You know, every day, day in, day out. They wouldn't even let me eat, but I had to I had to go live and tell you about this stuff, man. So thank you, Colin, for the super chat. It says, one more rant about Kamala. Can't vote for the bitch who lived in Canada and had universal health care as a teen and flip-flops on the issue here. That's true. That's true. I forgot about that. You know, isn't it weird how she enjoyed the privilege of having health care, universal health care, single payer, and then denies it to others? I mean, you could actually point to the fact that all of these senators and Congress people, dude, they have the Cadillac plans, right? Oh, they got the perks, right? They got their coverage. They got their needs taken care of. So they're not feeling the pressure. But if you put politicians on the same wages, on minimum wage, yeah, you pay, what is it, $7.25? Pay politicians the minimum wage, the federal minimum wage, and leave them without health care, and you see how fucking fast you are going to have a $25 minimum wage and health care by tomorrow morning. And honestly, man, look, this goes back to Pelosi. Do you remember Pelosi with her fucking fridge? Do you remember that? With her $11,000 fridges? All right, hold on. We had a little blackout there for a second. Do you remember what I said about Pelosi? Like, she's living like a queen. Okay? It's not about her stupid fridges, dude. She's worth over $100 million. That's the issue, okay? And she got it by being corrupt. But my point is that these politicians, they got their needs taken care of. And to boot, on top of it, they're living like fucking royalty. And it's one thing if you tell me like, okay, they got you healthcare. They got you higher wages. They gave you college, pre-K. They stopped the wars. They're spending every fucking cent of the federal budget on good things, and they've created a really just and equitable society. Then you could say like, okay, fine, I understand they want to live a little bit lavish because, you know, they have these positions in government, but they took care of the people. They did their jobs. Then you could kind of rationalize that. But not, you got people fucking starving in a pandemic, losing their health care. You gave them one check. You gave the trillions to the corporations. And then on top of it, you rubbing it in their faces. No, you asking for the fucking guillotine, bitch. You asking for the shoes. Like that. No, you cannot fucking rationalize that shit. And it's not about her goddamn fridges or the ice cream. Dude, she's been 30 years in the government. And at the worst time, like during a global pandemic, she's just rubbing it in your face. I mean, she got no shame. Do you feel me? It's not just her. It's not just her, of course. It's all of them. It's an indictment upon the entire ruling elites. It's an indictment on all of them. So, but do you get what I'm saying? Like, you can't even make the case. You can't even play devil's advocate for them. Not one bit. They're swimming in money. And while you're sinking in debt and being evicted and all this shit, that you cannot justify that. You cannot justify that, especially in the richest country, motherfucker. No. Really, like, I can't understand people who tolerate this for one fucking second. I cannot understand them. And once again, because these people only care about money, that's how you scare them. That's the only way to get change, man. You gotta threaten the, you're the wealth creators. You're the ones going in doing the work, doing the manual labor, doing the service, doing agriculture, doing the farming. You are the ones that hold the keys. But they have brainwashed people. They've put you in, kept you in the dark, so you don't realize how much power you actually have. And that's not some like Neo in the Matrix type shit. It's real, dude. It's real. Like, you just go out on the street and ask the average person about the CIO. Do you think they even know what the fuck the CIO is? Do you think they even know that communists and socialists almost overthrew the government during the Great Depression? Do you think they know the shit? They'll be like, what? We had communists in the US? Yeah. Oh, yeah, you did. You had a real left at one point. You did. Yeah. They don't teach you that. They can't. Because if they teach you that, you're going to start thinking for yourself. You're like, well, hold on a second. If they put pressure on the government and that got results, if we do the same thing, we're going to get results too. Why the fuck would we go vote for these people? Let's do this. Never mind the fact they actually made it illegal. I'm not kidding. To this day, I'm not kidding. This is from 1947. Just Google, look up the Taft-Hartley Act. It's still in law. If you are a communist, you cannot run as a union leader. You're banned from running in union elections. To this day. That's very strange. It's very odd for a country that claims it's a democracy and has, absolute freedom of speech and freedom of assembly. That's quite odd. And I think I told you they tried to ban the Communist Party at one point. They did. They actually banned it, but then it was ruled unconstitutional. But nonetheless, I mean, they just straight up banned it. They straight up banned it. And do you know what? Do you know what that reminds me of? Yeah, I'll tell you in a second. But just to me, it's absolutely mind-boggling how they made it illegal for you to get any kind of change. They did this legally. It's not just a question of, oh, let's not tell them about their history. Let's not educate them. No. They even got this enshrined in fucking law. Like, yo, no communists are allowed to be union leaders because they're dangerous. We're going to deport. They fucking did this. I'm not kidding. They deported people that were born in America, but whose parents came from like Eastern Europe or something for being communists. Like, oh, you're a foreign agent. Get out. You think I'm joking? Google that shit. This is real. They deported Americans for being communists or socialists or involved with unions because these were like community leaders. And I'm not kidding. This is America post World War II. Yeah. And how they chipped away at the unions as well, right? It's really, yeah, they some smart motherfuckers. They're cunning. And it just reminds me of quickly, like, if you look at Iraq in 2003, before they captured Saddam. So I think it's in summer at this point because the invasion was in March, if I'm not mistaken, and they captured Saddam in December. Man, I remember the day they captured Saddam. I remember all this shit, all of it. And I'm still pissed off. Do you understand now? I haven't forgotten, motherfucker. Like, that's why I don't tolerate none of this imperialist shit. I remember the lies. I remember all of it. And I remember it from both sides because I was watching British media at the same time and they were doing their own thing. But I remember the U.S. envoy, what was his name again? Paul Bremer? If I'm not mistaken, Paul Bremer. They sent this guy in to basically take over Iraq. Like just watching this guy get off the plane. I mean, it's no different from when you would have people coming from the UK to India and they're just like the viceroy or they're going to govern this entire fucking province. And who the fuck are you? Who are you? Like, just nothing changed. Like, we in 2003 and you got a white motherfucker getting off of a plane and just, yeah, he's proclaiming himself the governor of Iraq now. He's just going to like fucking make shit up. And you know what he does? The first thing he does, he goes and bans the Ba'ath Party, right? And the problem is everybody's in the Ba'ath Party because you had to be if you're a teacher, you're working as a fucking low-level clerk in the government. Doesn't matter. Go watch the documentary that I told you about, Once Upon a Time in Iraq. And this threw the country into chaos. And it's not about the Ba'ath Party. Like, it's just the concept of a white man just getting off of the plane and like telling people how to run their fucking country. It's so disgusting. I can't tolerate this shit. It really fucking pisses me off. And they're still doing it. I mean, last week, or I mean, not even last. It hasn't even been a week. Just a few days ago, Macron, the French president. I mean, he did that to a much lesser degree. It's not comparable to Paul Bremer, but nonetheless, like I've seen this over and over, and it's sickening. Do you feel me? It's sickening. And same thing with John McCain. Like John McCain just illegally crossing into Syria and talking with terrorists about how to fund them. Can you imagine that shit? Like, I can't explain to you how fucking unreal this is. Like, can you imagine, just as an example, a member of parliament or a senator, whatever, from Mexico, from Canada. Well, actually, that would be too mild of an example because they're your neighbors. It's got to be from somewhere else. Okay, can you imagine, for example, Jesus, who's an MP that I really dislike? There's too many of them. I don't know. It doesn't matter, man. Just pick any politician. Can you imagine like a Russian politician coming into the U.S. and then going and meeting with the KKK and then asking them like, yeah, what kind of weapons do you guys need? And how can we get you in control of the government? How can we get you into Washington, D.C.? That's exactly it. Would that not piss you off? Would that not make you angry? Same shit, no different. No different. And that's what people don't understand. That's what people don't understand. So anyway, man. Anyway, that's just something that popped in my mind, and you know. So hold on a second. We got a donation on the GoFundMe. So I just want to say thank you very much to Robert Browning. I hope Robert is still watching because I'm going to play crab dance for him as a thank you. So Robert, this is for you. And if you're not watching, it's still for you in absentia. Thank you so much for donating. Crab dance incoming, baby. Let's go.
And Corn Pop was a bad dude. And he ran a bunch of bad boys.
Listen, fuckhead, you have fucking crossed the line. Claiming I'm the enemy. You got that, you goddamn son of a bitch?
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch. Cut that bitch off.
Why you texting? Why? You're getting nervous, man. Calm down. It's okay. Okay.
Suck my dick and choke on it. I yield my time. Fuck you.
Yo, you already know what the next crab dance is going to entail. You already know. We got a new one coming, man. How many members we at right now? I think we at. Is that correct? 278? I think we're at 278. Once we get to 300, it's a brand new crab dance. So if you haven't signed up yet, make sure you go and sign up. Just go to the Patreon and you can donate whatever you like, man. Anything is fine. $2, $5, $7. You can do as little or as much as you like. That you can put in a custom amount. There's an option to put in a custom amount. And that would be really, really helpful to supporting the channel. And once we hit 300 members, it's a brand new crab dance. And you're going to love it. You're going to love it. I remember the looks on your faces when we unveiled the current one. So you're going to love the next one even more, man. You're going to love the next one even more. And by the way, for those of you who have not signed up yet, please go sign up on Rockfin for sure. Because I upload the videos there as well. We're live over there as well right now. It's free, so just sign up for free and hit follow. However, if you hit the red button that says subscribe, it's $10 a month. However, you get access to everybody's premium. So Jimmy Dore, Status Quo, Nico, Convo Couch, Ron Placone, Graham Elwood, Kim Iverson, everybody's there, man. This is becoming the new leftist hub. You feel me? So definitely do that, and at the very least, sign up for free. Make a free account so that we got a second base. You know, YouTube is not exactly the friend of journalists. And yeah, thank you to everybody who's been donating. I really appreciate it so much, man. You know, we live in through quite a roller coaster of a primary. Yeah, I mean, we were expecting this anyway, but Kamala, well, here we are. It's Kamala. So anyway, thank you for donating, guys. You can scan the QR codes here and do that with your phone. And I really appreciate your support a lot. We got a lot of stories to cover, but I think we've talked extensively about this VP announcement. So I might leave those for tomorrow so I can actually do them properly. There's a really a lot to cover. If you have any questions, I'll take them. So go ahead. Definitely, if you got some questions before I bounce, I'd be more than happy to answer. And yeah, I'm really grateful for all your support, guys. You know, seriously. Paula says, "Oh, they're bombing Gaza for the 4th time this week." Man, I can't even keep up. I mean, I try to I try to report on every single incident. Last week it was Gaza and Syria twice, and then a few days ago with these balloons, and they're still pushing this nonsense about balloons. But you know, there's a lot to talk about tomorrow, and yeah, we'll do it then. So if you guys know what's happening in the UK, and if you know what's happening also with in Lebanon, I mean, I did extensive reporting on Lebanon, but dude, the government resigned. It's shit show part 900 right now in Lebanon. It's unreal. So we'll cover that tomorrow. I'll bring you up to date on what's going on, and what's being done over there. But yeah, Waterfall is asking about the UK. So, well, again, I'm not sure if I should leave these for tomorrow so I can do the segments extensively. But you know what, man? I'm down with the impromptu segments. We're not going to shy away. Let's do it now. So I'm going to show you the videos because you need to look at the reporting of the media to see how despicable this is. So just give me 1 second to pull these up. So yeah, I'm just trying to find the right footage here. Give me 1 second. There's too much. Like it's yeah. Okay, I found it. So okay, let me just do this briefly, or rather as concisely as I can. I don't know if yeah. So if you haven't been paying attention to the UK, let me explain this to you. So the UK media, they've been talking a lot about migrants crossing the channel, and the reporting on this is abysmal. I mean, I just want to show you a video to illustrate what I'm talking about. So this is from Sky News, and take a look at this, and then I'll break it down for you. Okay, so
might be able to see in the distance the 4th boat of migrants that we have seen so far today, and I have to say, you know, it is an unsettling image coming this close. Hello, you okay? Are you okay? Where are you from? You okay? Where have you come from? Iran. And we're very close, you can see, to the white cliffs of Dover now. Our boat driver is just calling the Coast Guard now.
And there's another video I want to show you. Look at this. This is from the BBC now. On BBC Breakfast.
Yeah, and you can see why it's dangerous today, because the sea is pretty choppy. And then we came across this boat around half an hour ago, just spotted it on the horizon, and we have seen them actually trying to get water out the boat. They're doing that at the moment. They're using a plastic container just to try to bail out the boat. So obviously it's pretty overloaded there. People are wearing...
Did you hear him? Did you hear what he said? They're using a plastic container to get water out the boat. Motherfucker, they're drowning. They're drowning in front of you. They might die. And you're just casually reporting about it like they're zoo animals or something. Look at how they dehumanize people. Do you see this shit? And that other woman as well? Do you see how comfy they are in these nice big boats? Meanwhile, you got an overcrowded lifeboat in front of them. And they're just like casually standing there talking about it as if it's nothing. Unbelievable how they dehumanize people who are fleeing war and famine. And notice the language. Notice the language. They don't say refugees, they say migrants. Because when they say migrants, they imply that these people chose to come here. They had a choice. But if they say refugees, then they have to admit that these people are fleeing war. And then we got to start asking questions. What wars? Who started these wars? Who's funding these wars? Who's funding these wars? Who's funding these conflicts? Who started them? What made these people come all the way here? Huh? So that's no accident, the choice of words. Okay? And I said this on Twitter, that the British complaining about migrants after they colonized 1/5 of the planet is hilarious. All the wealth the UK enjoys was stolen from these people. You bomb and pillage their countries, and then you wonder why they flee. No one in the UK has any right to open their fucking mouth about people coming to the UK. No, you have no right. Did you have a visa when you went and you colonized Africa, huh? And you colonized the Middle East? And you colonized the Caribbean? And you colonized 1/5 of the planet? Huh? Did the natives invite you, motherfucker? Again, I'm saying that as a UK citizen myself. This is fucking hypocrisy from the British media and from these fucking racists. You're the last fucking country on the face of the planet to complain about immigrants. You just fucking showed up to people's doorsteps, killed them, erased their culture, committed genocide against them, occupied their fucking land. You put a fucking flag on their land. You stole their land. You stole their resources. You pillaged the crap out of the planet. And now you're complaining about people fleeing your bombs, your foreign policy. Who sold all those weapons to Saudi Arabia and is letting them commit genocide in Yemen? It's not just the US, it's the UK. Who's got special forces executing unarmed men in Afghanistan, committing war crimes? Who's been in Afghanistan for 20 fucking years? Not just the Americans. Not just the Americans. And who invaded Afghanistan 100 years ago as well? Huh? Who carved up the Middle East? Who went and bombed Libya in 2011? Not just the Americans. The British are involved in all of this shit. They're involved in Syria too. They invaded Iraq as well. And now they're complaining that these people are coming to their countries? Motherfucker, why did you go to their countries? 1,000,000 times. And occupy them and steal their land and enrich your fucking population. The only reason you're developed is because you made sure they stay underdeveloped. You built the UK from the ground up on stolen wealth. Genocide, slavery, all of it. The United States literally started out as the 13 colonies. I mean, the UK, the hypocrisy is unreal. It's unreal. And again, pay attention to the language. Migrants. No. It's refugees. Okay? Half the population in Syria didn't just leave for no reason. Maybe you shouldn't be funding jihadists and ruining their country and ruining Afghanistan and ruining all these countless beautiful places all over the world alongside with America, bombing them. Bombing the crap out of them with the help of Uncle Sam. Fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Seriously, and the way they complain, like, oh man, you know, these people are just coming over so they can claim benefits and unemployment and free housing. What the fuck did you do in their countries? You literally murdered them. You took their fucking country. Never mind some benefits, you motherfucker. Where do you think the money for those benefits comes from? Why the fuck do you think you have an infrastructure in the first place? Where did that come from? It just fell out the sky, you asshole? You uneducated fucking pig shit bitch. Fuck out of here. And you call yourself civilized, fucking racist assholes. If you leave the Middle East alone, you leave Asia alone, you leave Africa alone, you leave the rest of the planet alone, guess what? They're going to be developed, they'll be happy, and it won't be at your fucking doorstep. If you're so concerned. I can't tolerate this bullshit. And the dehumanization from the media further contributes to that. Like they try to pretend that, oh, look at these poor people. Oh my God. Look at the crowded boat. Oh my God. The conditions are so terrible. Bitch, if you are so enlightened and you're literally next to them, why aren't you helping them on the boat? Huh? You don't care if they die? It's more important for you to dehumanize them in the eyes of people watching your shitty fucking journalism? That's not journalism. Racist assholes. So that's what you're hearing about in the UK now. Oh my God, it's a national emergency. The migrant crisis. No, it's a refugee crisis. And who's creating those refugees? Western foreign policy. Hundreds and hundreds of years of colonialism, especially by the fucking British, created these situations that we are in now. The British are the reason that there are countries held back still in development because they've had their resources taken from them, their people killed, they were under occupation, they weren't free, they couldn't do anything. So it's very easy for you now to act like you're civilized when for hundreds of years you're murdering people, which is, I mean, I don't understand how you can be any more barbaric and racist. And you have the fucking stones to pretend you're civilized. And then you got infrastructure, you have very nice healthcare, you have nice roads, you have nice fancy little monuments and parks, and everything is nice and glossy because you built it off of the backs of other people. And now you want to turn them away? You want to bomb them and then turn them away on top of it? Fuck you. You don't even deserve these people. These people are giving you free manpower. The Syrians that are fleeing and going and working outside of Syria, all these countries are benefiting from that. Syrian workers are extremely skilled. All of the able-bodied men left because you bombing them, you sending fucking jihadists to cut their heads off. You, the UK, the West, the US, along with Turkey, Israel, Saudi Arabia. And then you complain, you getting free labor, you getting free manpower, and you still fucking complaining, you racist asshole. Unbelievable. Like they're crippling the country, not just now, but also for the future. They're causing a brain drain because some people might not come back. They go and establish themselves in the West, and then the West benefits from their knowledge. Now the West has all these doctors and lawyers and architects and manpower and labor, and the countries in the global South are fucked. Thank you. So there you go, man. That shit pisses me off. That shit fucking pisses me off. This racist nonsense. So we got a donation over here. Thank you very much, John. John, I really appreciate the donation. Bless you. Thank you so much. We also got another donation, I believe, from Colin Habibi. It says last one about Kamala. Go off, man. Go off. Thank you, man. It says, saw this on Twitter. Signum Global told clients movement after the VP pick. Oh, sorry, moments, right? Signum Global told clients moments after the VP pick that they should rest easy on the idea of Biden sprinting too far left. Yeah, because I'm sure Biden is dying to sprint to the left, right? The radical left. They raved about Kamala's fundraising prowess. That's a very nice way to say bribery and corruption. Very eloquent. So per usual, it's about the donors and the elite class, not about the policies that will help people like Kamala. That will help people. Kamala, just like Mama Bear, our most revered and venerable Nancy Pelosi, who is a progressive, right? I'm a progressive. Kamala, just like Mama Bear, is in play to be another political pimp. 100%, man. 100%. And I point your attention once again to the fact that you have people who acknowledge that, yes, the political system is corrupt. All of these politicians take bribes. And, one of the reasons that they supported Bernie Sanders, because, look, he doesn't take any lobbyist money or corporate money, and it's all grassroots. So that means that they acknowledge that corruption, bad. Yes, well done. And then they still do the mental gymnastics, and they're like, yeah, but look, man, we still got to vote for these corrupt Democrats because they're better than the corrupt Republicans. No. They're still corrupt, motherfucker. You know that corruption is bad. You know that these people take lobbyist money. How the fuck are you okay with this now? Do you see how they just flip-flop? It's unbelievable. Like, they're voting by party lines, first of all, and even more concerning than that, it's not just about voting blindly for the party. It's they have no principles. I think Jesse Ventura is the one who talked about this. He said you should remove the party from the ballot. It should just be name of the politician. Yeah. Because people just go looking for the party, right? They just go, oh, okay, I'm gonna hold my nose and vote for whoever's a Democrat because that's the tribe or the group or the affiliation that I've chosen to associate myself with. No, motherfucker. Especially in the U.S. I mean, that's like the worst, most egregious example of a place or a case where you should not be doing that. So the last place on earth you should be doing that because it's two wings, it's two factions of the same fucking party. Oh God. And 100%, man, these people are opportunists and career climbers, and it's just no matter who it's gonna be, we were gonna have this conundrum, man. What a shit show. What an unfortunate shit show. We got another super chat. Thank you very much from Zhenchuan. Am I saying your name correctly? Zhenchuan. I really appreciate the donation. It says, brain drain. Man, not enough people talk about this. I know, right? It's so apparent, but not enough people talk about it. And it's really messed up because it prevents the reconstruction and it's just making sure that, I mean, it's, sorry, I'll read your super chat and then get into it because it really is egregious. They've created a cyclical funnel to steal human capital, exactly, and talent from the global South, robbing us of opportunity and potential. And they have the gall to chastise and ridicule us for being underdeveloped. Fuck them all. Thank you, exactly, 100%. I want you guys to fucking write this down and read that every day, because it's so, dude, they don't understand. Like, not only are people dying, not only are people suffering, not only is the country, the infrastructure brought to rubble, but where's the reconstruction? How's the reconstruction going to happen? What about the future? We got to be, again, further dependent on these motherfuckers that destroyed us in the first place. And then on top of it, they get to benefit from the human capital. They get to benefit from all the mines. And it's not just skilled labor, it's also unskilled manual labor. We need both. These are our people, man. It's fucking disgusting. Do you see it? Like, this is what I'm talking about with neocolonialism. This is another facet of neocolonialism. They're still fucking pillaging us, man. If it's not the resources, the oil and the minerals and the lithium and all of this stuff, it's also the human capital. They make sure, they create conditions on purpose to make sure that we stay underdeveloped, right? So once again, I really want to underscore this point because it's so important. Brain drain. No one talks about this. And it's another tool that they use to make sure that countries in the global south stay underdeveloped. So they come in, they try to do regime change, they try to topple our governments, illegally intervening in our countries and our politics. They turn the entire country to rubble. There's no more infrastructure. People are dying left and right. People are suffering. Their homes are destroyed. And then what happens? They flee. You got refugees, just like right now you're seeing in the UK, right? But they call them migrants, because if they call them refugees, then they have to admit that they're complicit with the United States in destroying these countries, and have been for hundreds of years. So not only do they keep us underdeveloped by bombing us, but then they steal all the human capital. All of the skilled and unskilled workers go to the West. They get free labor and free skilled workers, like all the lawyers, the architects, the doctors, the white collar workers benefit the West now. Canada, the United States, the UK, France, these countries get to benefit from free skilled labor coming in and developing their infrastructures and their public utilities and their R&D. And we're left behind once again. And we gotta stay underdeveloped and depend on these countries that destroyed us in the first place for aid. Motherfuckers, man. Like, it's calculated. It's evil on another level. It's so cold and calculated. They just got unbelievable. And no one talks about this. No one acknowledges this, right? No one, man. Like, you barely hear this mentioned, but it's very important to highlight this. And I mean, like, it's one thing. It's one thing, people emigrating. I mean, whatever, do what you want, but not when you force people out of their homes because you bombed the shit out of them. Feel me? So they make sure that we're left in a state of chaos. We can't rebuild. And just like you're seeing in Syria right now with the Caesar Act sanctions, they're designed on purpose to stop Syria from rebuilding. They're telling the whole world, if you interact with the Syrian government in any capacity, even if it's for reconstruction, we will sanction you. They're trying to strangle us, man. They're trying to kill us. They're trying to make sure that we stay in a state of a disarray and chaos. And we can't rebuild. And half the population has been displaced. Half the population. You know 40% of the Syrian population are kids. They grow up in war. And so all the skilled workers, Syria has tons of skilled workers. They're all gone to the West now. All the doctors, the lawyers, the architects, the people with diplomas, the pharmacists, and on top of it, unskilled labor. And we need both, man. Like I said, these are our people. We need them. They leave us underdeveloped, and then they get to benefit on top of it. They bomb us, they destroy us, they keep us in darkness, and then steal our human capital and get to benefit double. I mean, it's disgusting. It's not just the resources and the oil, it's also the people. And no one highlights this enough. Fucking cruel world, man. So there you go. We got a new member on Patreon. John, thank you very much for joining to support. On a much lighter note, Let me play you a crab dance. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Y'all show some love to John. Here's a crab dance just for you.
And Corn Pop was a bad dude. And he ran a bunch of bad boys.
Listen, fuckhead, you have fucking crossed the line. Claiming I'm the enemy. You got that, you goddamn son of a bitch?
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch. Cut that bitch off.
Why you texting? Why? You're getting nervous, man. Calm down. It's okay. Okay.
Suck my dick and choke on it. I yield my time. Fuck you.
So before I bounce, once again, let me just thank you guys so much. I also got one from Anna on Venmo. Thank you very much for the the donation. Honestly, I have not seen any recent pictures of Kamala. No, I have not. I'm sure we'll hear from her soon enough, though, when she does her her victory lap. But nonetheless, guys, we got through another bumpy fuck this primary. That's all I'm gonna say. We'll see what happens next. So thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the support, all the kind words and the donations and everything. And once again, join the Discord, sign up for the newsletter, and participate in the community. Honestly, the newsletter, using it more to give live notifications than anything else. Well, I'm still trying to build it up, but YouTube doesn't notify it when we go live, right? Sometimes you get a notification, sometimes you don't. So that's why we're building the newsletter. So there you go. So once again, I just want to thank you very much for tuning in. It's a pleasure talking to you guys, even though the topics are unpleasant. But we getting through it together, man. So there you go. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Remember, we got 3 p.m. Pacific. So you better be here. And we're gonna have a good time. All right, we're gonna have a little special live. So there you go. We got another Poppy's pal just joined. Javi, am I saying your name correctly? Javi, thank you very much for the contribution. It's a pleasure to have you. Let me play you a crab dance as well. Y'all show some love.
And Corn Pop was a bad dude. And he ran a bunch of bad boys.
Listen, fuckhead, you have fucking crossed the line. Claiming I'm the enemy. You got that, you goddamn son of a bitch?
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch. Cut that bitch off.
Why you texting? Why? You're getting nervous, man. Calm down. It's okay. Okay.
Suck my dick and choke on it. I yield my time. Fuck you.
You gotta love the crowd dance, man. You gotta love the crowd dance. Once again, thank you to everybody. Appreciate it. Have a good one. And I will catch you soon. Remember, tomorrow, 3 p.m. Western, okay, West Coast. Take care, guys. Take care. Ma salame. All right.